All right, welcome to the team. We are so glad you're here. Think of this as your personal guide to really mastering the most important parts of dental billing. We're going to walk through how to do your work with total confidence and, maybe more importantly, how to avoid some of those really common and pretty costly mistakes. Let's jump right in. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the explanation of benefits. You'll hear us call it the EOB. It's the foundation for everything else. From there, we'll double check the insurance company's math. Yep, you got to do that. Then we'll get into calculating write-offs, which is super important. We'll touch on electronic payments, and we'll wrap up with the really crucial skill of explaining the patient's bill clearly. It's pretty much the whole journey of a claim, start to finish. Okay, first things first, decoding that EOB. You have to think of this document as the absolute source of truth for every single transaction. Seriously, before you type in a single number or even thinking about sending a bill, you've got to know this document inside and out. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The American Dental Association is crystal clear on this one. Just taking that extra minute to carefully read every single EOB is going to save you from so many headaches down the road. It sounds simple, but this habit, it's your secret weapon for accuracy. So what are we actually looking for on this thing? The very first number you need to find is the allowed amount. This is the key. It's not our office's standard fee, it's that special, lower rate we agreed to because we're in network with that insurance plan. Every other calculation starts from this number. Next up, you've got the deductible. You probably know this one. It's what the patient has to pay out of pocket before their insurance kicks in. But here's an important little detail. Services like cleanings and exams, diagnostic and preventative stuff, usually don't count towards that deductible. That's a great little perk for our patients. Okay, so after that deductible is taken care of, coinsurance comes into play. It's actually pretty simple. It's just the percentage of that allowed amount, the number we just talked about, that the insurance plan covers. So if a filling is covered at 80%, the plan pays 80% of the allowed amount, not 80% of our full fee. That's a really common point of confusion. And all of this, the allowed amount, the deductible, the coinsurance, it all leads to this: patient responsibility. This is the big one. It's the bottom line, final number that the patient actually owes our office. Getting this number right and being able to explain it, well, that's really the heart of your job. Right, so once you understand all the lingo on the EOB, what's next? You have to verify the payment. You cannot, and I mean cannot, just assume the check from the insurance company is correct. You've got to check their math every single time. So here are the formulas that guide us. For us, as an in-network office, we live and breathe by the formula on the left. It's simple. What the insurance plan pays, plus what the patient pays, has to add up perfectly to that plan maximum allowable fee, which, you guessed it, is just another name for the allowed amount we've been talking about. Let's make this real with an example. Okay, look here. Our office's full fee for a filling is $250. But with this insurance, the allowed amount is only $200. The plan says it covers 80% of that, which comes out to $160. That's the check they send us. So what's left? The other 20% of that $200 allowed amount, which is $40. That's what the patient owes. See? It all adds up. Okay, this is a big one. Let's talk about how all of this leads to our next topic: calculating write-offs. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is one of the most critical things you'll do. Getting this wrong can really mess with the office's finances. So what even is a write-off? Well, remember that filling example? Our full fee was $250. We got $160 from insurance and $40 from the patient. That's $200 total. The write-off is simply that leftover $50. It's the adjustment we have to make because we're in network. Now, how you post that write-off is non-negotiable. There's a right way and a wrong way. The most important part, the golden rule, is step 1. You absolutely must wait until every single insurance plan has paid, primary, secondary, whatever they have. Only then, once all the money is in, can you calculate and post that final write-off. And here is exactly why that is so important. If you jump the gun and post a write-off after just the first payment, and then you try to go back and change it after the second one pays, the math gets really messy really fast. You could easily end up giving the patient a credit they didn't earn, which means our practice just lost money. The ADA is pretty direct about it, and I want you to hear this in your head. You will want to be careful not to do this. Just remember, one procedure, one final write-off, and only after all the payments have come in. All right, let's shift gears just for a second to a quick but really important topic. Let's talk about how a lot of this money actually shows up electronically. We're talking about EFTs. So, a lot of the time, you won't get a paper check in the mail. Instead, you'll see an EFT, an electronic funds transfer, pop up directly in our bank account. The document that goes with it is called an ERA, or Electronic Remittance Advice. Honestly, it's just a digital EOB. You'll handle it the exact same way. Now, here is a pro tip for you. You need to be on the lookout for hidden fees. The rules say that dental offices should not be charged a fee just to receive a standard EFT payment. If you ever see charges like that, you need to flag it right away so we can take care of it. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important step, talking to the patient. All of this technical work we've just discussed, it's only as good as our ability to clearly and confidently explain to a patient what they owe and why. This is where we build trust and avoid frustration. So here's your checklist for having a great conversation with a patient about their bill. First, make sure the patient responsibility number on their EOB matches their bill from us. Exactly. If they ask why something wasn't fully covered, use the remark codes on the EOB. They give you the exact reason, like, benefit for this is limited to once a year. And finally, if a claim gets denied, make sure you know what the next steps are for an appeal. So that really covers the fundamentals. But the world of dental insurance is always changing. New plans, new rules. It never stops. So being an amazing part of this team means being committed to learning. Always be asking yourself, how can I make sure I'm keeping my skills and my communication with patients as sharp as possible?